Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our class. My dear students and viewers, I think you are passing your days in a good mood. Do all the educational institutions of our country are closed for the COVID-19, but we are trying our best to recover the class through taking online classes, and I think all of you are taking part, and all of you are watching the classes which are showing through different devices. Okay, dear students, teachers ID. I am Mohammad Asraful Islam Asham, lecturer in English, Abu Bakar Bishas Maqsud Ali College, Saprai, Kaliganj, Zenaidu. My dear students, subject introduction, subject English, paper second, class 11 and 12. Title Narration Part 1. So, today we will learn something about narration, and I have given name Part 1 because today we will try to understand the primary grammatical items of narration, and we also try to transfer a direct sentence to an indirect sentence. So, my dear students, next slide, parts of a narrated speech. We have to know how many parts a narrated speech contains. We have to identify all the parts. After that, we will able to do it easily. My dear students, we know that a direct narrated speech contains mainly three parts. The parts are speaker or reporter and reporting verb. That means reporter with reporting verbs, a comma mark, and reported speech with inverted comma. You know that the speech or sentence which is written in an inverted comma, this part of the sentence is called reported space. So, I think all of you have understood the matter and also go through the pages and write down. What are these? These are the three parts of a narrated space. The three parts: speaker or reporter and reporting verb, comma marks, reported space with inverted comma. There is a sentence here. Here speaker, the boy, reporting verb said, comma, reported speech, we play cricket. The boy said, comma, we play cricket in an inverted comma. We play cricket, the reported speech, and it is written in an inverted comma. Sentences of speech. You know that we have to sense the narrated speech from direct to indirect, and we must follow some rules of the sentence. So, how many sentences are there to sense a narrated speech from direct to indirect? Depending on meaning, we have five kinds of sentences in English, and every sentence has its individual way from direct to indirect. Their students and learners look at the content. you see that there the sentences are assertive, interrogative, imperative, optative, and exclamatory. There is a sentence here. We must have the idea about conjunction and tense. Conjunction and tense play a vital role in narration, especially in order to change the narration from direct to indirect. My dear students, changes in narration, that means what kind of or how many grammatical items we have to change from direct to indirect in narration. There are three grammatical items which we have to change to change a direct sentence to indirect. Firstly, tense. Secondly, timing words or phrases. Thirdly, persons. So we have to memorize or we have to take it in our brain the three items: tense, timing words, phrases, and person. Senses of tense. So we have to know or understand the senses of tenses in narration. If the reporting verb is written in past tense, the following senses are taken place for reported speech. Dear learners and students, I request you to read out the sentence. If the reporting verb is written in past tense, the following sentences are taken place for reported speech. Direct to indirect, the sentences indirect. If the sentence is written in present indefinite tense, if the sentence, that means reported speech, is written in present indefinite tense in indirect, it should be written in past indefinite tense. That means the transformation of the sentences or the reported speech from present indefinite tense to past indefinite tense, from present continuous to past continuous tense, from present perfect tense to past perfect tense, from present perfect continuous tense to past perfect continuous tense, from past indefinite tense to past perfect tense, from past continuous tense to past perfect continuous tense. So we have to memorize it and we must follow these rules to change a direct speech to indirect. Changes of words and phrase. My dear students, the second items were changes of words and phrase. That means in order to change a sentence or reported speech from direct to indirect, we have to change some words or phrases. Some of the words or phrases are given here. If there is now indirect sentence, we have to write then in indirect sentence. Like that, today, that day, tonight, that night, tomorrow. Some other words and phrases: come, go, here, there, this, that, these, those. Good morning, wishing good morning. Now, dear students, depending on the rules we have already gone through, we have to practice a sentence or sentences. If the reporting verb is written in present or future tense, no sense in tense for indirect. My dear learners, an example here. The boy says, I eat rice. Here, the reporting verb is written in present tense because we see is at the end of say, at the end of verb say. The subject is third person singular number. For this reason, it is in present indefinite tense form. And the reported speech here, I eat rice. So, according to the rule, no sense can be seen in tense form. What should be the answer? Indirect, the boy says that he eats rice. He eats rice. Here, the subject he, which refers to the boy. For this reason, the sentence is present indefinite tense and we use s at the end of the verb eat. Another sentence, we know that if the reporting verb is written in future tense, it also follow the future rule. That means there is no sense in tense form. There is a sentence, she will say, I can do the work. Here, will say, that means the sentence or reporting verb here is written in future indefinite tense. Reported speech is written in present tense. So, what should be the answer or indirect form of the sentence? She will say that she can do the work. So, we see here that there is no sense in tense form. My dear friends, an interesting thing. What should be the interesting thing? Let us enter to the content. If the reporting verb is written in past tense but the speech is universal truth, then no sense in tense for indirect. We know that in previous time we have already understood that if the reporting verb is written in past tense, then some changes of tense must be followed. But here we see that if the reporting verb is written in past tense but the speech is universal truth, no sense in tense for indirect. So, direct, the teacher said the earth moves round the sun. The teacher said the earth moves round the sun. Here is the reported speech, the earth moves around the sun, it is universal truth. So, no tense form or no sense in tense form has been taken here or has been followed here. The indirect sense of the sentences of the reported speech, the teacher said that the earth moves around the sun. We see that in under the inverted comma, the earth moves around the sun. The same sentence is written in indirect, the earth moves around the sun. Here the sentence the earth moves around the sun is universal truth. For this reason, no sense in tense is taken here or is followed here. So, my dear students, this is all for you today. We will discuss the next item tomorrow or in our next class. Today we only discuss the primary items of narration. Primary items. If we have the idea of primary items, we will take the secondary items. And I request you to follow the classes, to take part in every online classes. And if you feel any problem, you can communicate with your teachers. And I also request you, in the present time of corona, You must follow the rules of health. I request you to use sanitizer frequently. I also request you to use masks if you need to go out from your home. Okay, thank you very much.